Oh, hi, Scorpio, collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. How you doing? Welcome to your October Satisfying Soulmate readings. I wasn't going to do the soulmate readings because, yeah, go watch the video I did clarifying twin flame soulmates and true lovers. Now, apparently, I'm going to have to do it on soulmates, so I probably will in the next few days. Speaking of the next few days, I took a couple of days off. I needed to. I had tarot divination burnout, like not just mental, emotional. It actually hit my Virgo cellular structure. It's not that I couldn't move. It was just like, just burnt crispy. So nothing like a day of meditation, mystical interaction with the divine to prepare me for Scorpio. Yeah, we're almost done with these. Really enjoying them. The extendeds, there is an extended version of this on Vimeo. Link is down below. So check it out. So to my subscribers, thank you so much for supporting me. I know, I saw you take a couple of days off, your numbers drop like an Acme safe off a cliff. I'm glad to be back and doing this, to be totally honest with you. I enjoy this process so much. So yeah, rising from ashes. It's our thing, isn't it, Scorpio? I only have Neptune in Scorpio, but I'm feeling you. And if you're new to my channel, I am Mark A. Lyons, MOLL for short. President of Joining the Circle, a professional witch, professional intuitive, doing this since I'm 12, I'm 51. Well, I mean, it wasn't like I was working in bars at age 12. Laws. Laws about that thing. Although it was in the late 70s, early 80s, so I guess I was in the 80s by then. So we've tightened up a bit since on those child labor laws. So let's dive in. I'm very excited to do this. I ran my errands. I'm in for the rest of the day. I've got enough coffee and caffeine. I've been swimming in a sea of anarchy. I've been living on coffee and nicotine. Well, and really healthy food too, because I cook. So this time I'm only using the one deck. If you haven't watched any of the others before now, you know, whatever your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs are, go check them out. So these are supposed to be quicker. I thought these were going to be like 15 minutes. They've all been around 30. But the extended reads have gotten up to an hour plus. So you might want to check that out. We're going to be using the Celtic Cross spread, one of my favorite spread, really, I cut my teeth on. Back as a tween, my tween teeth. And because I'm only using the one deck, Daughters of the Moon Tarot, I'm going to bless it right here and now. It does not take long, takes about a minute. So why don't you take a deep breath? Ground that Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign into the present moment. Say your prayer, follow your breath, whatever it is that you do, while I do that thing I do. That I do so well. Oh, feeling you, Scorpio. So my gods, please bless this deck for the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love and their soulmate contracts for October 2019. Let's say October-ish 2019. That this deck be a channel of your godly guidance and grace for the well-being of all. May the Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love and their soulmate contracts for the well-being of all. That I am now. And so it is. Top 10 cards, Celtic Cross. Top 10 cards, Celtic Cross. Got it. Felt that. Maiden and a mother and a crone. Yes, with the left hand going from right to left. I guess I have a little traditionalist left in me. Let's dive in now. Because I asked, you know, top 10 cards, Celtic Cross, I don't have to keep pulling for each one, which, you know, is a time saver. But this is how I read clients usually anyway. I shall accept my clients, when they're sitting across from me, they shuffle, which is a lot of fun for me to watch. So the first card down, the Celtic Cross, this is how I read it, often called the significator. I call it the card that covers you. And what's the card that covers you? Oh, the Coyote Woman quarter tilt. And we're going to say that quarter tilt going inwards. That this is really at this stage 1/4 way into self-sabotage, that there's a trick. Now, this is a major arcana card, right? It's half of the devil. In this deck, Fiona Morgan takes the card of the devil and divides it into the trickster, which I think is, you know, how we trick ourselves, our sabotorial patterns. long list there, huh? And the card of oppression, right, which is more about those chains. These are the things, our attachments perhaps, but the things that we do to sabotage ourselves and others, which are about decisions of empowerment or disempowerment. Keeping in mind that there's a difference between a choice and a decision. Every choice has a consequence, but decisions are life-changing, and sometimes we don't realize our choices are actually disguises. Disguises are actually decisions in disguise. You can see why I would confuse those words. So let's move along. That's you. Now here's the environment. The second position is the cross, right? If for better or for worse, what helps or hinders. But I see it more as like the vibrational environment, the archetypal environment of where you are right now. And guess what you've got? You've got another major arcana card, and this time you've got the Witch, which is the Magician. But now as I look at the two of them together, they are butting heads. They are butting heads. So a coyote and a witch walk into a bar. Ouch, says one. Ooh, my hat, says the other. In terms of soulmates, this could very well be a soulmate contract going on here. Keep in mind, my definition of soulmate are the people who help you heal, the pre-incarnational contracts, where you agree to help each other heal. It's not so much about teaching each other, you know, how to heal yourselves. It's very twin flame, tumultuous, turbulent. You get the idea. Soulmates are satisfying and symbiotic. So even now, as I'm keeping my hands on these cards, there's a buzz of electricity. So maybe this is not so much butting heads, but a meeting of the minds, because it feels like, yes, you know, it's to make major arcana cards people. That's tricky for me, because to me, they're archetypal places, scenes that we walk through on the stage of life. And minor arcana are the things, the court cards tend to be the players, particularly if you're working zodiacally with them. One sign for each of the kings, the queens, and the knights. This, however, I'm going to bring more cards to clarify, and we're only doing 10. In the extended, I will add 3 more decks, so you're only get 10 in this read. You'll get 40 in total at the end of the one on Vimeo. But definitely, you know, it really, this is card number 1 in the major arcana, the 0. The Fool is 0. So this feels like an initiation, but that word initiation, right? And the Witch in this deck, in other words, right here, I'll just upright it for the moment. Drawing down spirit, right? Fire under the cauldron, water in the cauldron, wand up above air, and pentacle on her chest. Fire, earth, air, water, spirit. So with 2 major arcana cards, first thing down, particularly essentially the Devil and the Magician, that to really look at not what you're incarnating, look at where are you making a decision of empowerment, because this is definitely about it's time to initiate, right? To start something. Just make sure you are listening to your intuition, and beyond that, your personal honor code. You know, if your solar plexus knots at this point that you're doing something that's not right, or someone isn't right around you. Now, that's when we really sabotage ourselves, is when we don't listen to that, right? We don't pay attention to that. So a trick is being played on you in a sense, but I'm getting with 2 major arcana cards in a row. Like if it was, this was like the only one in the spread, maybe another major arcana card, I would say, oh, this is just something that, you know, you're learning something, but it's a quickie. This might be a big deal, considering it's your birthday coming up soon. Depends on where you watch this, right? So happy birthday, my Scorpio Suns. Let's get at the core of this. What's going on in your subconscious? Interesting. The card of meditation, which is mirroring exactly the angle of the coyote. So to go within, not just a time of rest, although that's in there, but really contemplating, like, don't rush into this. Do not rush into this, that there's clarity and peace. They're showing me, they're showing me a pond, right? The water's not moving, but, you know, there'd be fish and stuff in there. It's an alive thing. It's not stagnant water. Underneath is the clarity, right? There's all these leaves floating on top. There's all the, you know, like lotus stuff, right? Pollen, dragonflies. Can't really see under there is the clarity. Go deeper, go deeper. Do not jump into this just yet. I never tell people what to do. This is a path of personal empowerment for all of us that we're all in it together holographically, right? That's why I'm doing this, to help serve the collective, move things along in the anchoring of fifth dimension into the third. Long story. So there's a thing here really of slow this down, contemplate, go inside. Yes, mental, but mental inward, to listen to and feel what's going on inside of you, which is really what contemplating is. It's not about more thinking. It's about feeling, but understanding, right? Allowing those feelings to do what they have to do so that they inform you. Not that you make every decision from there, obviously, but there's a difference between emotion and intuition. So let's look. Come on up, Sabs. Buddy, nothing like a black cat in October. Lay down, lay down. No, you're not allowed on the table. It's not allowed on the table anyway. Recent past, or you're behind. What's in your behind, Scorpio? Fourth position. Now completely reverse Taurus, your opposite sign. Now recent past, there might been, this feels like a soulmate person, but with it reversed, perhaps it did not go so well, or there have been arguments, or more like internal push-pull thing on their side, perhaps triggering you, which would make sense now with the trickster there, that you're not quite sure what to do. So really slow your roll on this. Otherwise, this Taurus is upright. This Taurus, I say she because this is a feminist deck, so please, you should look at me. Do you think I'm going to judge you on gender or deliberately misgender anybody? I'd rather be nibbled by mice. This is really this divine feminine in an internal place. So if you are not hearing from this Taurus. Now, again, Taurus feels like a Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, but there is something earthy about this person. I will say there is something wealthy about this person, may or may not mean only financially, in terms of emotional wealth and depth and caring, and they're giving me the word charisma too. And right now they may be really, really internal, right? Really yin, pulled back. And if you're worried, well, am I being ghosted? Did I do something wrong? You know, it's very easy for intuitive people to fall into what is called passive narcissism, as opposed to aggressive narcissism, which is obvious when it's going on. Passive is way more covert. It's when somebody does something and we can feel it, right? We can feel what they're going through, and it's our fault, right? Where the aggressive narcissist, it's everybody else's fault. That's not me. That's not me. I mean, we've had moments of it. We all have, particularly when the passivity explodes, right? Taken in, feeling all this stuff. What did I do wrong? Did I do wrong? Was I not in my vortex? Was I not in alignment? Did I do this in a past life and now it's happening to me? Oh, right, I did this last week. I'm a Scorpio. Is this my karma? What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Be careful of that. That's why go within. Because I'm not going to, I mean, I will pull other cards of clarity about this, but it will be in relationship to you. I don't eavesdrop. Honor. What's the high road? And that might be something to consider here. What's the high road here for me? What's the high road in general? And again, what would love do? What would love do? That's the little MTV logo, or I guess it's on this side for you, in the corner for me. What would love do? What would love do? Keep yourself in check. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Okay. Moving forward, crowning card, fifth position at the top. This is what's coming into view, your immediate future. Well, perfect. The learner, right? Good old Eight of Pentacles. Solid, stable, not quite at a 10, but certainly not at a 2 either. Now when this card comes up, particularly in these satisfying soulmate relationship spreads, it's a lot of alliteration for one sentence. I added another S at the end. This feels very soulmatey. This feels like counselor client, right? Healer and client, you know, or good friend, but it is something physical, right? It is a physical, tangible meeting. It may or may not be related to this Taurus reversed. And again, I hate saying Taurus, all of that, Capricorn, Virgo, they need not be a Taurus sun sign. Go watch my, I'm not plugging myself, it's just if you're new to my channel, go look. I have a whole playlist called Clarification with Malia. Clarifying how I read court cards, because everybody reads it differently. You might as well know what my language is, so I don't have to keep saying this every time. Maybe in a month or so I will stop saying this every time. But here you are learning about me, and here I am learning about, you know, YouTube and how to clarify myself, right, for myself and for the general public. You see in the distance there on this side, that tapestry, that blanket. This woman already has done this thousands of times, right? And Scorpio, be careful of your pride. I'm hearing, be careful of your pride, that you can really turn to somebody who's dealt with perhaps this person, or in a professional assistance sort of way, that has dealt with and learned about and garnered wisdom. To me, the earth sign, not necessarily just sun, moon, all that, you know, the Capricorn, the Virgo, and the Taurus, but the element of earth is about wisdom, because wisdom comes from practical application and experience. In other words, you've got an absolutely healing soulmate, which now throws into question whether this is a soulmate or not. But we'll see. We'll see what comes up. We are literally halfway through this spread, so let's keep going. What is before you on the path? Gemini. Now, interesting, Gemini at that same tilt as this coyote, which represents you, right? This is the card that covers you. So this is gathering information, and this absolutely could be a soul. This feels like a soulmate. This feels like a friend, though. This feels like someone who's chatty, who knows stuff, who may gossip, right? But the thing about the gossip archetype, like, nobody wants to admit they're a gossip unless they're getting paid for it on, you know, media somehow. That the gossip people just confess to them that if you get them in a counselor situation under vows of confidentiality, best people to talk with, if they let you get a word in edgewise. With, you know, and I'm not just saying that because it's a Gemini card. That's the energy on there. Remember, it does not have to be an air sign at all. It can be any of the signs. I just think it's funny when readers do that, and they're like, oh, it could be a this, a this, a this, a this, a this, and it's all 12 signs. It's like, thank you. It's all the 12 signs. It's all good. Whatever your process is. But this feels like this is going to be extremely helpful. I'm looking forward to the extended read to see what that is. So we've got your first 6 cards down. That is the cross part of the Celtic cross. So we have a horizontal and a vertical. Your horizontal is the card of the past, which here we have this Taurus, right? Past, present. This is the environment, the situation, the choice, the decision, the thing that you're intending to bring into form. And with this Gemini. So this could very well be you coming from one, dealing with, still feels like it's in your energy field. If it is somebody that you've left behind, then sure. But, sorry, let me make sure I get that right. Make sure that tilt is right. But you are really almost a quarter way out of this. Like, this card has almost completely righted itself. It's just not time yet. It's just not time yet. And then that leads to more information, which is maybe exactly why here we've got in your core, we've got this meditation, right? Same angle as the coyote. You are the coyote. The coyote is the card that covers you. But straight up above you, you've got the learner and the learning. So that's what's coming in really. Your horizontal and your vertical axes really do support each other. Do not make any major decisions. I'm not saying for the entire month of Scorpio, but I have a feeling once you are chatting with this Gemini, things will come a lot clearer to you. You don't have all the information yet. Your intuition might be right on, but in terms of the whens and the hows and more data, I feel like, though it's not a completely mental process, something comes out. And again, true or false, who knows? But certainly the overall empathic thing on this is just pull back. Just pull back, because if this person has sort of gone to ground, as it were, as you know, earth signs in general, we can seclude pretty easily, right? This might not be about you, but depending on whether you experience as a turbulent, tumultuous troublesome twin flame, on again, off again, teaching you how to love and heal yourself. By contract, you can't heal each other. Again, go watch the clarifying video on twin flames, etc. Or if this is a soulmate, it just might be one of those occasions where even if you do help each other heal, there's a real moment here where this might not be your dance. But for you to make sure you have what you need, that you're learning what you need from someone, not just in the know in terms of knowledge, but someone in the wise because of wisdom and experience. Let's get your next 4. The 7th position is the lesson, what the gods are trying to teach you. And straight up Malama, 9 of Pentacles, that you're learning how to be solid and stable on your own. Like, that's the lesson. It's like you hold your ground, not in a stubborn defensive way, but in during this timeout or whatever's going on with that earth sign. Again, doesn't have to be sun, moon, rising, any of the zodiac signs. But you know what? I will say this, there is some stubbornness and some fixedness here, and it is about their values. And it may be about values that they don't realize that they have, right? That there might be something a little unconscious, but they're about halfway out, right? They'll make their way out. This will right itself eventually. I just don't know how much you can help there. I mean, we can always help through prayer, right? Well, there we go, the witch. May they be blessed. May they be blessed with all that they need to heal. Because this is about you being whole and complete into yourself. Now, a 9, I shouldn't cover her name, very Polynesian, right? Malama, has her own, a 9, but not a 10, but she's cool at 9. It doesn't mean that there won't be a 10 along the way. So, you know, if you are single right now, right, if this is a soulmate romantic thing, and again, we're not, there are certain cards that would pop out here that would really scream that at this moment, but that's why I'm doing, you know, sorry, go to the extended reading on Vimeo, because all of them have blown my mind. This is my first time doing it. I think I'm going to do these once a month. I'll do soulmate one month and twin flame the next, because the gods are going to tell me what to do. So really good lesson, 9 of Pentacles, about you really making sure that you are solid, stable, and this is earth, right? So this is physically. Make sure that you're, you know, doing your exercise, hydrating with, you know, clear, clean water, eating healthy-ish for Scorpio, you know, making sure that you're taking care of you right now. Because if this person has completely withdrawn, you could do it as well. You're going to withdraw, then I'm going to withdraw and not tell you, Scorpio. Or you can send a text like, look, if you need me, I'm here, but I've got my own stuff to take care of, and you are in my prayers. But I'm going to tell you something about when you say to somebody, you are in my prayers, you had better fucking put aside 5 minutes to pray. That thoughts and prayers thing was annoying me too. I was like, yeah, how much time do you spend in prayer? Now there's a little spiritual ego in that for me, because I do pray every day. It's how I stay congruent for doing this kind of work, not to mention what happens when I click off, you know, click the record button off, right? So I know this. I know this lesson. It's like make sure you are stable so that you can serve if needed in this satisfying serving. Good. Another S in there, soulmate contract. From the outside looking in, how the world sees you horizontally. Good for, like, this is bond. There's emotional bonds here. And that you do have satisfying soulmates around you in terms of friends. That this, and it feels like this person, if they are not one of these, may be, right? Maybe was, maybe isn't anymore. That's why they're behind you. So really feeling this out, and again at that quarter degree, and which one is it facing, and it's in the same direction as the witch. So, you know, if you're covenanting up, meeting with some friends, right, from the outside looking in, right, that this is about to sort of go whoop, same way. This is about to become conscious. Give that time as well. Okay. This teacher here, this satisfying soulmate teacher helper, is part of this. Duh. They might very well be the same person. Just saying. Feels that way. It's so funny how they now look at it. I'm like, especially because this came straight up, right? That really turned to your healer, to your friend, to your mentor, to your high priest, high priestess, whoever. But there's something very physical about this too. Financial advisor. And from the outside looking in, it's not like you don't have friends. You do have friends. You do have other people, other emotional bonds going on. Now, ninth card is destiny, what we most fear and most want, right? Our hopes and our fears are all about our destiny because, oh, we want the end goal, but we're so afraid of what we're going to have to fucking do to get there. Hence the hero's journey. Remember, this is a variation. This is a Path of True Love reading, but it's about specifically your soulmate contracts. So as we look at this is not telling you what your destiny is. It's showing you where you are in the alchemy from fate, what you're given that you can't change, and your destiny, the journey, alchemizing that led into gold, the fate into destiny. So this isn't about your end game. Nobody has to fucking say the end game. Just saying GPS, where are you right now? And where you are right now is pretty much straight up emotional. Now this card is called sorrow, but it need not be sorrow. And the Four of Cups, you're so used to seeing the spilled cups elsewhere in the Rider-Waite Tarot, right? But it's still that same idea that the person is so focused on what's going on in front of them, right? Person under a tree with the hand of the divine, boop, 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 handing them a cup. So this is happening for a purpose, not a reason. The more you look for reasons on this, my water sign, that's where you are right now, and it is straight up. And so what are you going to do? You're going to work with this person because your lesson is about stability, really having your own, not fully complete, not, you know, the 10. The 10 of Pentacles, but the 9, you're good on your own for right now, right? Stability. So love what rises, right? You know, that's what I'm going to tell you to do. That's what I do with a lot of my spiritual counseling clients, whether they're online or sitting across from me or I'm sitting across from them. I make house calls still. I'll go Manhattan to Montauk, but we negotiate a price, including gas and time for all of that, Virgo. But it is often that time where the person's like trying so hard not to cry to keep that in. I'm like, honey, you're paying money for this. Cry, here I am. And what do I say to them? It's okay, right? Just like what do you say to a child that fell and bruised its knee? It's like, oh, it's okay, honey, it'll be okay. You'll get through this. This will heal. I love you, but you don't say, well, you know, psychologically, this is exactly what happened to you. You don't do that. You don't do that to people. That's not what love would do. You let them cry. That's not what I do. So there's definitely, if this is tears, if this is fears, tears for fears. Wow. Everybody wants to rule the world. That this is about emotional release, understanding that there is something underneath those emotions. Oh, just like with this card of meditation, it's sort of like you have to sink through, like with that image of the pond, sink through the leaves, the flotsam, the jetsam to get to that clarity underneath. That this, what you're releasing is more about your own personal past. It's really about your own emotional baggage than anything to do with them. So there, whatever this was in the past is triggering your own, perhaps, abandonment, feelings of loss. But that's just part of your destiny. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. They didn't do anything wrong. There's a plan in place here. The gods always have a plan. It's their plan, right? We're the characters. We read the script. We said, okay, we'll play these roles and we'll completely forget that we're doing it so that we transform and we grow as souls. But because of the holographic nature of the plan, the game, planet Earth, whatever you want to call it, multi-dimensional chess, that as I heal, I'll heal. So it's multi-leveled, multi-dimensional, truly in that sense. So cry, but love yourself as you cry. And this will be very interesting to see what happens with some of them other decks up there. Last card down. Your outcome. Internal victory. Internal victory. Completely in victory. So there is something that you break through here. So, you know, that would lead me to think, what are you learning here? You're learning how to love yourself. You're learning how to overcome. You're learning how to move forward within yourself. This now feels like very much a twin flame. Very much a twin flame turbulent. And look, you have more than one twin flame. My father was a twin flame relationship. We both were. I was contracted to not be the son that he wanted, and he contracted not to be the father that I needed. Now, by the way, what I needed was a sane, stable father. And Gemini dad. That means it's on sitcom. Gemini dad. I think it's called Family Guy. It taught me how to heal myself, how to go for the psychological healing, how to learn how to love myself, how to accept myself. I mean, now that he's on the, he died the summer between high school and college. For me, we're on much better terms now, considering I consult with spirits all day long, darling. Dad and I are cool. So this internal victory here, that you're learning how to heal yourself. So since this is a satisfying soulmate read, if this person has gone out of your life, nothing left but the healing and the crying. Just do it. Ask for help, because then really you've got a soulmate here, at least one, maybe two, because there are two people in the card, unless you're in the position of the client or the student. A Gemini here, which, let's face it, one soulmate is really true if they are actually Geminis. Even now, this Malama feels like you, but then even here we have it, to make sure I get the tilt right, yeah. Even here, from the outside looking in, and particularly in the outside looking in, you do have an emotional support system in place. This is definitely you on your own, but look, now it is reversed. But there is victory, there is moving forward, and you're not alone there either. So I'm going to go so far as to even say, because you have, let's see, there are 1, 2, 3. Oh, there are 3 in each card, that you have this both internal and external, right? Both internal and external. It was, I think, tilted that way. Yeah. So the guides are with you, right? Your masters, your whatever, your gods, that they are carrying you through this, because they have access to the script. We don't. They know it's going to happen. We don't. We used to before we incarnated. And what's intuition and all of this divination? And divination means interaction with the divine. And I did a video clarifying divination too. I'm a teacher first and foremost, can't you tell? But that on both the inner and the outer, you have what you need here to do this. So again, we've got that past, present, future of that Taurus. In the past, could be walked away completely. We've inverted yin out of the picture. You, the Scorpio, having to make some kind of decision. I mean, I can suggest and recommend. I don't tell people what to do. I say work on you. Work on you. Decision, not just, oh, I'm going to work on myself today. And it's just like, no, I am going to heal my part of this. Because if what this person is going through truly has nothing to do with you, and by the way, just because you don't see what's going to happen in the extended read, that's okay. This could go either way for you. We're going to clarify this, though, what this person is going through without eavesdropping. That how do you make a decision when somebody sort of disappears, or they're withholding, they're not letting you know what's going on? You heal you, and you absolutely, this makes so much more sense now, bless them from a distance, right? You just bless and bless and bless, and even look, the cone of power is pointed right at them. And you as well. So to pray, to heal, to do what you do. Now, of course, you don't have to be a witch to do that. Everybody prays, right? Oh, colloquial prayer, my favorite kind. Like, oh, dear God, get the cat off the table, right? He is a divine being. Are you good, Sabs? I guess you couldn't have walked on the floor to get from one chair to the other. Why? When Mama's lap is available while she's working. Lay down, lay down. I have to go take care of him. But really, in the overall here, I guess I don't. This is what soulmates are all about. Reach out. And you know what? I get a feeling with this 3 of Cups here, they already know. And if they don't, they're like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Let's do something. Let's hang out. Just don't over-medicate. Because those cups, I can see there's some alcohol flowing out, at least 2 of them. So take care of you. May you be best. May you be blessed with the best. May you be blessed on the path of true love for October 2019 in terms of these satisfying soulmate relationships, my Scorpio collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. I love you all so very much. But for now, follow along. Go to the extended if you like. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.